We got our top two, or our second and our third place finishers from 450. Eli Tomac will not be joining us this evening. If you want to speak with him, he'll be available on our Monday Zoom. We do have Marvin Musquin. He was our runner-up today for Red Bull KTM. We have Adam Cianciarulo, who was third for Monster Energy Kawasaki, and our point leader, Zach Osborne, who finished fifth today, but was able to maintain a hold of the red plate. So, Marvin, we will start with you. A good day for you. It started off really great. You really were just on point. It was very, very similar to the kind of effort you put in to win that first moto last year. You obviously are in a good phase and getting back into that pace and that speed that we're accustomed to seeing you at. The second moto probably wasn't what you were hoping for, but you still were able to get the second place overall today at a venue that probably has a little bit of maybe hard feelings towards, or maybe just a different kind of place for you given what happened last year. Talk about your day, how it felt to get that first moto win under your belt and still just get on the box even though the second moto wasn't quite what you were looking for. Marvin, you there? All right, we will revisit him. How about AC? We'll go to you. You're here. Third overall from you. 3-4 for the day for third overall. You were right there. You had it. You had that win potentially in hand. You got a lot of experience leading, I think, today, running that pace. You had everybody's kind of breathing down your neck, but you showed the poise. You showed the comfort to be up front. Maybe you just kind of lost a little bit, tightened up a little bit there in the end, but got to be proud with back-to-back podium finishes. You're doing what you probably want to do and showing that you belong. Talk about your day and what it felt like to have that win potentially in the grass.
Yeah, I mean that's 2 weekends in a row where I've kind of changed my mindset a little bit the past couple of weekends, just trying to be more consistency based, just kind of doing what's repeatable and not trying to, do any miracles out there and try to go, crazy out of control fast or anything like that. So it's 2 weekends in a row now I've had a chance to win. And obviously it's frustrating when you have the chance and, I can watch the race back now and be like, man, you had 5 minutes and 2 laps to go. Like you couldn't hold on to it, but really in the moment, I know that I'm trying the best I can and putting my best effort forth. So it's not one of those things that discourages me or anything like that. If anything, I'm encouraged to be up there, racing these guys. And, ultimately it's kind of the best in the world basically. So I just need to be a little bit stronger. To be honest with you, my whole back situation from Supercross has kind of affected my training a little bit. And I would say I'm still kind of working back into form, as you guys could probably see in that second moto. I mean, those guys put quite a bit of time into me there the last 5 minutes or so. But overall, that stuff's fixable. The speed and the talent, everything it takes to be up there, that's kind of it's harder to fix. So I'm glad I have that part. And it's just all about maintaining a good attitude, a positive outlook, and just keep making steps. Like you said, I led 25 minutes of a pro 450 national today, and I'll take that experience to next weekend and just keep building on it.
Cool. Marvin, I don't know if you heard those questions I was asking earlier. Did you by chance?
No, sorry.
Okay, so just kind of going through your day, second overall, your first moto, you're back in winning form. You were able to get a win, similar to what you did at this same track last year. The second moto probably didn't go quite to the way you hoped, but still got second overall. Still ended up with a great day, able to gain some ground on Zach and the points even in doing so. Talk about your day, what it felt like to get back in, on top of the box and to be where you are, considering you don't have a lot of racing on your belt. You're probably still moving upwards toward where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's always you always remember, your last moto, I feel like. So unfortunately today in the second moto, I was not quite there. I mean, I think it was more about, that intensity and line choices. And I mean, I just couldn't close the gap they put on me, and it got bigger and bigger. And, but anyway, you talk about that first moto, and to be able to win a moto right now, you know, this third round of the season is awesome. I just felt great the first moto. I was obviously leading from lap 1 and took the whole shot. That was just awesome. And I was that was just great. Even though I had pressure from Eli the whole moto from lap 1, it was I was able to respond when he was right there, and physically I just felt great. Obviously it was not hot today, so it was not difficult on that part, but yeah, I was super pumped. Obviously I never really celebrate that, you know, because there was a second moto right after that, and then I ended up 6th, so it was not the moto I wanted, but ended up 2nd overall. So 2nd overall right now is great, and I take it for sure. And it's been a long time I've been racing, but now we're back into it, and I'm super happy to be here and be competitive. That's exactly what I wanted, you know. Coming into that new season, I was just questioning, like, if I was gonna be able to be out here and be competitive and fight with these guys, and that's the case. So I'm pretty happy, and 2nd overall is better than last weekend. So I'll take that.
Cool. Zach, we'll move on to you. I think what we've seen the last 2 weeks is a greediness out of you, an ability to, you know, there's adversity, but you dig deep, you come back strong. You know, you're showing the resiliency that it probably takes to be successful in this class, which is obviously very deep and very talented with a lot of great guys. 5th probably wasn't what you're looking for today, but you know, you were where you wanted to be. First moto, just kind of things maybe just got a little off track there, but you salvaged a good day. You're still the points leader. You didn't lose a ton of points at the end of the day. You're still in control. So talk about the day, even though it wasn't what you were looking for after the first 2 weeks, you still have a lot of things that you can build from and be optimistic about.
Yeah, I mean, if you had told me that I was going to be 13 points in the lead at the 3rd round, I would have said sign me up before the season. So, you know, it's all about keeping it in perspective and just knowing that today just wasn't my day. I mean, the first moto I really should have been 3rd or at least 5th, and ended up 7th with just some unfortunate mishaps, and that's how it goes. And then the second moto, I was pretty comfortable there behind Adam, and then one tiny mistake cost me 2 positions, and it just unfolded in 2 corners for me. So yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing and keep the pressure on, and keep trying to win some more races.
Awesome. We'll open up to the media. Johnny, go ahead.
Thank you. This is Johnny Hopper with 2.4 Speed and MX Unfiltered. AC, I wanted to ask you a question. You had the fastest lap time around lap 3. Can you walk us through what happened around lap 13? Looked like you started going about 4 seconds a lap slower. Was it arm pump? Were you just into your head going, man, I got 5 more minutes left, you know, I got to put it together? What happened?
Geez, man, hell of a question there. Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned in my first answer there, I am still kind of rounding into form, I guess you would say. Physically, I'm probably not where I was at this time last year. So, and plus, it's just tough to go that fast. You know, those guys are really good, and you know, I always pride myself in giving it my best. I think, you know, it'd be easy for me to go out, not easy, but it would be easier for me to go out there and, you know, say I was sitting behind Zach, and, you know, maybe I didn't want to look like I was going to fade at the end of the moto. So maybe I just ride it, you know, 80-90% the whole time, and I look like an Ironman, but I'm down. I want to win races, and I'm going to do everything I can to do that. So I kind of made that decision in my head. I'm going to, you know, try to get Zach, and then, you know, try to do the best laps that I could. And I did it for as long as I could, and then about 5 minutes ago, I dropped the anchor, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. I think for me, I can be technically better. I can be more efficient. I've been using a lot of energy at the beginning of the first motos, just kind of being excited. So that's just stuff I can work out on my own, and also just as the season goes on, I'll continue to get stronger and build, and hopefully put myself in those positions, and you know, hopefully come out on top one of these days.
Yeah, you're doing well. 35 minutes is a long time to be riding as hard as you guys. Marvin, congratulations on the first moto. You look super fluid, and everything was just going well for you. I know a year ago you got hurt in the second moto. Did that have anything to do with your mental game? Like, oh man, I just need to get it through this race because this race kind of ruined the last year for me. Did that have anything to do with it, or not at all?
No, I mean, definitely, I thought about it for sure. But then I went out there the second moto and gave my best and try to get the whole shot, and I was right there in third. But you learn from your mistakes, and I was trying to be obviously maybe a little smarter and more, maybe more patient, and just go through it and through the first couple of turns, not like last year obviously, but things like that happen, but now we're back on track, and that second moto, obviously I wanted to be out there and battle for podium positions, but I didn't, and I think it was just a tough day. That the first moto was great, but all of a sudden in one of the rut, I caught my foot, and it bent my knee like more than what I'm capable of, and that was a little painful. And going into that second moto, I was just a little bit off on reactions with my leg, and I mean, I don't want to use that as an excuse, and I gave my best and I pushed really hard, but it was not enough. But like I just said earlier, the second overall is better than last weekend, and I think my body, and especially my knee, needs to get used to it and go through those races. And Loretta Lynn's was a good racetrack, but it was definitely a lot slower than here in Ironman, especially last weekend in the mud. But now today it was definitely a very tough racetrack, really fast and rutted again. So it was very challenging for the body, and I just need to get stronger and get used to it again, especially for my knee.
Thanks, Marv. Zach, since you're joining us, I have to ask, do you ever get mad at some of the lappers that don't follow the blue flag? Because you running into that lapper looked like it just stopped your forward momentum. But good damage control, though, with finishing.
I mean, yeah, but also I think that they could do a bit better job of, when they're flagging and where they're flagging and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, that was on me. I thought I was plenty clear, going fast enough to clear the gap before we got to the corner, and we just connected in the corner. And that was it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Kellen, go ahead.
Yeah, Kellen Brower, Racer X. This question's for Adam. When you're under pressure like you were in the second moto, are you aware of how many people were right behind you, or were you just thinking it was maybe just like Eli or maybe just Zach still there?
No, I wasn't really thinking about who was behind me at all. I think, I mean, at any level in the sport, but especially this class, I just pretty much assume everybody's right behind me. I mean, the pace is really high, and I felt really good, but I would have to feel kind of otherworldly to think that I was, putting a gap on all those guys. So I didn't really think about it, to be honest. I was just trying to, hit my marks and move around the track. In the second moto especially, they groomed some of the track, and the outsides were pretty good for 10 or 12 minutes until they blew out. So you have to start kind of moving around looking for lines, or if you keep going to the same line for the whole race, eventually it's going to catch up with you and you're going to get dropped. So I was just trying to focus on that, and just trying to take it all in, man. It was a cool experience. It's obviously I have big goals, and I want to win races and championships and all that, but to lead a national like that, it's just it's a cool experience. So just trying to take it all in.
And then for Marvin, in the first moto, it seemed like Eli would reel you in a little bit, and then you would be able to pull back a gap, and he would reel you in, you'd pull a gap. Did you feel like you had that speed in hand, that every time he could catch you, that you'd be able to pull that gap back out every time?
Yeah, I definitely felt like I was in a great position, obviously to win. I had definitely clear vision because I was leading, and that was awesome. Obviously, when you catch the lappers, you're the first one to get to them. You know what I'm saying? So I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh, I really hope it won't bug me, or so it actually went pretty good. So there's some, like you said, areas where he was catching me, and I was able to gap him again, like on the rest of the track. So that was cool. But at some point, I started to hear the crowd getting loud, and I knew he was coming, and I actually thought it was AC because for some reason, I don't know why, maybe because Adam was inside on the gate. I thought he had a better start, but I actually never looked back the whole moto. The only thing I saw, it was in the pit lane and mechanics area. I saw a Cowie guy, so I knew it was either Eli or AC. But anyway, it was a cool moto, and there were some lines where I felt like I was maybe losing, but I was not comfortable trying different lines because I didn't want to get past just trying to a different line and then mess it up. So but anyway, I was able to be very consistent, and like I said, it was not hot, so physically it was definitely not difficult, and especially that first moto, and I was ready to push even more if I needed it in that first moto. So that was a great feeling.
And then lastly for Zach, in the second moto there, you were in second, obviously kind of fell back a little bit, but then towards the end of the moto, you turned it back on and you kind of caught the group again. Was there lines that you found or anything late in the moto that was different that helped you kind of catch up again?
Not really. It was just one of those give or take tracks where you could, I never really quite made contact with those front two. After I got by Adam, I could never really, I would gain like 2 seconds and get kind of close, and then they would pull a second back, and then I'd gain 2 seconds and then lose 3 seconds. So it was just a bit of a yo-yo. I think I was a bit surprised by the prep today. Like, I felt like it was a lot harder than it normally is. And there were a lot of lines, but not a lot of good ones. Like, it wasn't really easy to maneuver or move or go anywhere else other than just kind of the one line that we were in. So nothing really changed. I just kind of dropped the hammer, but it wasn't enough.
Thanks, guys.
Cooksey, go ahead.
So staying with you, Zach, in that second moto, you ran into the 7 deuce. Tomac got you, and then it almost looked like you went to pull a tear off. Were you surprised that Barsha was that close? Because he's not normally a guy that charges like that.
No, I knew he was there. I always keep a watch on what's going on around me, and I knew he was there. So as soon as I ran, made the mistake or whatever, I knew I was getting passed by 2 guys because I could feel Eli on the inside of me. I actually was going to go inside, but I wasn't sure if that was even any better than just following the lapper around the corner. So in the end, I just chose to follow, and it bit me.
And then how do you compare this track to, you were at Redlands twice. Was it bigger? What was your thought? How'd the bike work?
Well, I mean, of course it's bigger. It's a totally different track and totally different deal. But, normally we come here and it's super rutted and deep and rough. But today I felt like it was really quite smooth. As far as bumps go, it was pretty ruddy in some places, but overall it was rather hard packed and a bit just kind of smooth and vanilla to me.
Awesome. Thanks, Zach.
Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, this is for Adam. Adam, we're like 6 motos in now of your rookie year, 2 podiums, minus second moto at round 1. I mean, you've been pretty consistent. Is this about where you expected to be? I mean, you're just getting used to the 450 and all.
Yeah, I think over the years in my career, I've done my, I've always had like that expectation around me since I was super little. And so as I've grown older, I've tried to do my best to kind of just stay present. As like introspective as that sounds, I just try to kind of take every day as it comes. And most of the time, if I do my absolute best, I'm happy with myself. I think I try to not really think about expectations too much. I mean, I know what I'm capable of, so I'm not going to be happy until I get to that spot. I'm not going to be completely satisfied, but you kind of have to enjoy the journey along the way. And I think so far for me, minus that second moto, I've been about, where I would expect with kind of how strong I am. Yeah. I think speed obviously is not a problem for me. It's just there's a lot more to it than that, obviously, to win at the highest level. And I think I'm making good steps, and to be, last 4 motos inside the top 5, and kind of from everywhere too, like not necessarily getting good starts, having to come through a couple different situations, and I'm proud of the way I've been riding. I think I have more, but definitely have to, enjoy these races. It's cool to be on the podium. I'm not going to lie.
I heard on a podcast, I think from Weech, who's on this call, that you're riding with James and riding at James' house with Chase, and how's that working out? How did that come about?
Yeah, well, for me, I have been riding at what they call now the Moto Sandbox. Jason Baker runs that program over there, and he does a great job. I have just been, that was Grant Langston's property before in like 2007, 2008-ish, and then it was Villapoto's, and I was there for that. I was maybe 12 or 13 years old when I started riding there, and then it was Eric Rondel's, and then now it's been Jason. So I've just been going to that track, that same piece of property, since I was, like I said, 12 or 13 years old. I've probably put more laps out there than anybody times 100. So I think for me, it's just a change of environment is cool, and the James thing came about and I was invited out there, and I've been having a good time. Just a change of pace, something to, keep everything fresh and new. And, I think I really pride myself on doing the best I can when I go to the practice track and trying to get better and trying to improve. And especially with how hard we work and how gnarly and how long our season is, it's really easy to fall into a kind of a go through the motions mindset. So it's just, something mentally for me to kind of keep me motivated and keep me headed in the right direction.
Nice. And today you ended up battling with Chase pretty much all day.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like during the week?
No, to be honest with you, he kicks my ass all week long. I mean, he's so much faster than me in practice. It's actually pretty insane. I just laugh it off. But no, man, he's really good. He has a lot of talent and a bright future. But he was hounding me there in the first moto. I kind of swerved him a little bit in the first moto, to be honest. I made a couple mistakes. I got around him, and then I made a couple mistakes right away. And he kind of had some runs on me on some of the straightaways, and I was kind of doing one of those deals, kind of swerving from one side of the track to the other. But I saw him after the race, and he seemed like he didn't hate me. So I think we'll be good on Monday.
Yeah, you cleared around him pretty good. It was safe enough. I appreciate it, Adam. Thanks.
Mitch, go ahead.
Mitch Kendrick from Racer X. It actually, this segment's in my question rather well. I was going to ask you, Adam, obviously the goal is to race forward and you're always trying to move up positions, but is it tough when you know there's a guy like Chase who's right in your tail? Like, for instance, anytime you make a mistake, he's going to pounce on it. And even like when you guys passed Zach, he was right there, just came right through with you. Is it tough to kind of keep going ahead when you know he's right there? And, is it tough? What's it like to race forward? He's right there.
Yeah, it's always, it's an acquired skill for sure to be able to keep your focus, on what you're doing when you have a whole bunch of guys behind you. But I've been doing it long enough now where, it's not too much of a problem for me. Honestly, some of my best races are when somebody's on me the whole time, like just hounding me. Just something about it keeps me focused. But especially when somebody is about to make a pass on you, like you screw up and you see their fender and stuff like that. Those are the moments where you really have to kind of almost take a mental pause in your head and be like, if you fall into that trap of worrying about where they are, they're going to go around you, and probably a couple other guys are too. So you have to, kind of use that moment to, I guess, refocus, and then, hopefully you're going fast enough you don't get smoked.
Yeah, because looked at one point like you guys had a string with each other. He was just coming right back and forth, and like you said, it was battling, but it was awesome to watch you guys out there.
Yeah, it's always cool to battle, with a buddy too. He's not going to do anything too stupid, and it's cool.
Thanks.
Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex Gobert, Moto Online. This one's for Zach. As the red plate holder in 450 class, how important are these double header rounds coming up at Redbud?
I think pretty important. I think it's going to kind of be the tail of the tape for the rest of the season. It's going to be really tough to be some sort of recovered for Friday, Monday. The Redbud track's pretty gnarly, pretty demanding. So it's going to be all about staying low key and just chilling that Saturday and Sunday and trying to be as good as you can be for Monday and go out there and give it your all. I think they're going to be really pivotal rounds for me where I need to show up, guns blazing and go out there and do the job.
Is it, I guess, the season was delayed. So now we're here, we're sort of getting in towards the midpoint of the season. So has it sort of gone by pretty quick considering we're 3 rounds in already?
Yeah, these first 3 rounds have ripped by, and now we're going to have, 2 more in the span of 4 days. So by this, almost this time next week, we'll be 5 rounds in. So it's going by quick, but I feel like this season has been the never-ending season. We've done like 3 7-week training blocks, and it's just been really tough and heavy on all of us. So I think getting through these Redbud rounds at some capacity of 100% is going to be key to me winning this championship.
Awesome, thanks.
Steve Mathis, go ahead.
Question for Zach and then also for Adam. Zach, so on that note, will you change things up this week with your schedule with the race on a Friday? Will you ride it all this week, and if or what will you change up?
We've been cut down to like a 2-day week, which is not normal for us. We normally do 3 days during the week. So lately it's been Tuesday, Wednesday, but this week we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, just to be as fresh as we can, with Wednesday and Thursday off, and then race Friday and Saturday and Sunday off, and race Monday.
All right, question for Adam. Couple of things. Adam, you made a comment about the Rockstar Husky guys this week somewhere I saw. Where is the rivalry with Zach Osborne right now? Where are we at?
No, there's no rivalry with Zach. I made a comment. Well, somebody asked me what was my first initial thought when Zach kind of slammed me in the corner before the 10 Commandments, and I said that I thought it was Jason because he's honestly been kind of riding me like a dick most of the year. Excuse my language, but Zach and I feel like we ran into each other intentionally a few times a few years ago, and then since then it seems like it hasn't happened too much, and if it happens, it's by accident, just because we both really want to win. So no, I got a lot of respect for Zach and for Jason. It's all in good fun.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Because I put you guys on a text to try to get you together, and nobody was having it back then. So I'm glad things are better. Also, Adam, when you're lined up next to a competitor on the starting line and he has a flat front tire before the gate drops, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, so Alex, I was texting Steve about this, but Alex Ray, he pulled into the gate after the sight lap, and he looks down at his front, and he's like, this thing's flat. And I guess he didn't have a wheel, and him and his mechanic were just kind of looking at each other like, we don't know what to do. And I'm like, you gotta go back to the rig. You gotta fly out before you go off the start with 39 other guys, going 40 miles an hour in the first turn with a front flat. And he's just like, yeah, he was unfazed. He was dead about it. But the fact that he was going to leave the gate with a front flat, especially on a track like that, I tipped my cap. He's alive, right? We can confirm that?
Yeah, he's fine. He raced all with a front flat. Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. Did he score points?
No.
That would have been unreal. But yeah, that was crazy, man. He was not happy, and he kept my focus on him before the gate drop most of the time. I was like, I can't believe this guy right now. So
thank you.
Anton.
Hey, thanks. This is for Zach. Zach, even though you didn't win after winning those first 2 overalls this year, you actually probably learned more today by having the battles that you had, right? This was probably a bigger learning day than Loretta's 1 and 2.
Yeah, for sure. The first 2 were pretty easy. There wasn't a whole lot of learning going on, but today, the first moto was just dismal for me. Like, going into the halfway point, I felt like I was in the catbird seat. Like, I had good pace. I was, just kind of chilling in third. And then, it just kind of all came unraveled. So, that moving forward, that's something that I need to pay attention to, and maybe attack those passes a little bit sooner. I made one really good run on Eli, about 13 or 14 minutes. And then, like I said, after that, it was just kind of downhill from there. And just situationally, I need to be a little bit more aware and be a little more careful and respectful, respect the lappers a little more.
And then for Marvin, honestly, all 3 sessions that you guys had today, from time qualifying to Moto 1 to Moto 2, the track changed quite a bit. Super sloppy in the morning, really, really good Moto 1, and then kind of hard pack and dry there towards the end. How did that help you now that you know how your knee feels in a lot of different conditions?
I mean, I have no choice, right? I gotta go out there and give my best. But yeah, I to be honest, I thought the first moto was gonna be a little bit drier than that. The good thing is we were able to give some advice to the crew, the track crew, you know, because like you go out for second practice and they flatten all the mud, you know, like, so they actually it doesn't help anything. So, and there were some sections where it was super sloppy still, you know, instead of scraping the mud off like they did in Loretta's. So the track definitely got better throughout the day, and obviously the last moto was quite a bit drier and more lines. So that was good that they fixed a couple of section, but they could have leave some of the stuff, I feel like, but it helped obviously for passing and having different lines. But to be honest, for me, I mean, I've been feeling pretty good on the bike with my knees. So that first moto was just great. The second moto was, yeah, maybe a little harder ground and maybe harder on my knee. I mean, all those big jumps, the big holes and stuff, that was hard on the knee. And there was like massive jumps, and that section on the backside, it was a lot of hard landing. So I was definitely not great out there. You know, I was still, you know, I was giving my best. So, but anyway, the knee is holding out strong. So I'm definitely ready. I know Redbutt's going to be a good one.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Weech, and then Darkside will wrap it up with you.
Yeah, thanks. This is for Marvin and Zach. I'll start with you, Marvin, and then same question for Zach. Marvin, you've raced a long time around the world. Is it almost still shocking, though, how close this field is right now? Like, literally the difference between a great moto and then falling off the pace in Moto 2, it seems like the line is so thin. Is it almost surprising how small the margin is right now in this pack?
Well, I mean, I've said it many times already this year. We only 3 rounds in, but I've said it many times that that a lot of guys, I feel like, yeah, a bunch of guys are capable of winning motos right now, and even more getting podiums. So definitely it's a very interesting season to follow for the fans, for the whole industry. So I'm yeah, it's great. Obviously it's hard on even, you know, every one of us, because we want to win, and I feel like the past few years there was maybe more injured rider, and I felt like it was like me, Tomac, but then, you know, when Kenny got hurt and stuff like that, and all the guys got hurt, Baggett was there, but you know what I'm saying, it was a lot like less riders. Like, I feel like this year everybody's here and healthy and ready to compete. So yeah, this is awesome. And yeah, when you get a moto win or a podium, you pumped for sure.
Thanks, Mark. Same thing for you, Zach. Is it like shocking how small the difference would be between a really great moto and a average result with how close everybody is?
Not really. I mean, when you have so many guys on one gate with so many credentials and championships and so on and so forth, it's a thin line. I mean, that's the pinnacle of motocross in America, in my opinion, right there. You know, that's what it's all about, is having a field that you need to be on point every single time you hit the dirt to win.
And then Zach, for you, so you're the points leader, right? So if a moto unravels like it does in Moto 1, how do you keep yourself in check, even during the moto and between motos, or even at the end of a day today, to not be too upset that you gave too many points back, or, oh, I wish I could have those first moto mistakes back? How do you keep yourself on a level plane when you obviously want every single point you can get?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it's all about the perspective for me. That's kind of been my rhetoric for a couple of years now, is just, you know, 5 years ago, I on the way to the hotel right now, when we came here in 2014, I was riding for Geico. My wife was super pregnant. I was about to make the switch to Husky. We got to the hotel at Crawfordsville, which was that sketchy Days Inn or whatever it is. And I was like, I'm not putting my pregnant wife here. And so we drove back to Brownsburg or Brownsville or whatever it is. And we were passing that hotel tonight. And I was like, I've been a little bit bummed or pissed about the day and how things went in the first moto. And I was like, man, we've really come a long way since we stayed in this pile of crap hotel, 5 years ago. And that's really what it's all about for me, is just, had you told me I'd be here now 5 years ago, I would have been like, sign me up. That's what it's all about. And that's kind of what keeps me going and what keeps it in perspective when the chips are down or when the chips are up.
Okay, that's it for me. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Dark Side, I'll just give you one last one. We're running pretty deep into this.
Oh, I had one anyway, and this was for Marvin and AC. With a shortened schedule this week, it's only one day, but it changes your routine. Neither of you guys is totally 100%, and then we got even shorter turnaround before the Monday race. Does that worry you? How do you prepare with a shorter schedule and recovery?
Marv, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the schedule is, and then we'll do everything to recover and to be ready to battle and try to be as much as competitive as possible. And but I'm excited. I'm excited to race 2 rounds like that back to back, and with only 2 days in between. We'll be out there. I'm lucky to have a motorhome, on the track. So we just hang out with the team and then recover in between. This week's just going to be a little bit shorter, like 1 day shorter, but that's not going to change much. I feel like we have a good program and we'll do our thing. But yeah, I mean, I have no choice. I'll do everything just to recover. I just hope everything goes smooth, physically with the knee and everything.
Yeah, and then same for me. I will say I'm an excellent chiller. I'm good with sitting on the bed all day Saturday and Sunday, Netflix, PlayStation, anything we got going, I'm good with it. So I think that'll play into my advantage for Monday's race.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Congrats to you podium finishers on a good day. Best of luck to you guys next weekend in Redbud, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.